ports in the country ongoing. Most recent was a move that's been made to formally concession the Enugu airport. This was done sometime this year. I think it was in January, if I'm not mistaken. And the idea is to do a litmus test with the Enugu airport. That's the Akano Ibiam International Airport. And then from there, the government would then look at what would happen to the other international airports, Lagos, Abuja, and I think Kano. These ones are the big boys. Anyways, so for the Enugu International Airport, I think the company is Aero Alliance. That's where the company, they handed the airport to a consortium that's expected to modernize facilities at the airport and also improve the regional connectivity. We recently are aware of the situation at the Lagos National Airport with the fire incident that happened, and monies that have been earmarked in the budget. For when we heard the Minister of Aviation speak about the billions that will be required to give the airport a facelift, and they think government cannot afford to spend that amount of money to do all of that for the various airports. It's not feasible, hence the idea of concession. Now, workers have not taken this news well. Now, are they against the concession plan, or are they against how the plan is being implemented or what it contains? Well, all of that will form our conversation this morning on the show, and hopefully we'll get to find out details from the gentleman I have in the studio. Mr. Felix Ohwoefe is the Rivers State Chairman, National Union of Air Transport Employees. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Ifiemi. Good
Long
morning.
time. You're not alone, sir. You are.
My name is Comrade Aka Emmanuel, the State Chairman, ANAP, Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals.
Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, great to have you guys. Mr. Felix.
Yes.
What has been happening? What has been happening? What is the problem? You guys want to go on a protest. You people want to. What is happening? Not just you, electricity workers just planned their own protest. We have some other people who are also saying they want to protest. And now, for the airports, you workers are also saying you want to go on protest. Why?
Okay, good morning. I remain Comrade Felix Ohwoefe, Branch Chairman, National Union of Air Transport Workers Employees. I also doubles as Chairman, State Council, National Union of Air Transport Employee. I think the union, I think we are preparing for a protest because
why?
There has been a lot of issues of concession, and presently the toll gate and car park is almost gone, and the union, we are saying no to it.
But the last time I came to the airport, I remember there's another space that's been created.
Yes.
And then I know that at the time I came, they were working on the road on that area. And then they say, oh, this side they are paying different money. What's the situation?
Now, the situation on ground is that there is a company. The introduction of this whole thing started with a company that was to install an automated machine in the airport. And it was an agreement between the union and the MD to, one, automate the toll gate and the car park, and two, also go cashless. If you come to the airport now, since on the 1st of March, toll gate and car park, we are going cashless. These were the federal government policies which FAN has keyed into. But to our greatest surprise, the installer, which is Atlantic Bisco, went behind closed doors, behind the union, outside the agreement we had with our MD, to now negotiate for concession of the toll gate and car park. So the union saw this as a betrayal.
So the private company is running.
No, they have not. We've refused them to start.
Okay.
Because we have.
But that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, that is what they wanted to do.
Park.
Yes. So we met with them. We told them no, it won't work that way. We have not seen any paper, no document to prove that you're taking over our toll gate and car park. Even when the federal government has directed and approved FAN to increase their tariff, you want to take over? No. We'll give you a breakdown as we continue on this program. Because there are a lot of issues on ground, labor-related issues, fraud in the agreement reached by the so-called Atlantic Bisco and
What was the agreement
Now,
reached in the first place?
The
And
first
why
Okay.
is the idea of conceding the car park to the company a
Now
problem?
let me give you this full detail. Before now, we generate 27.6 million every month
from what you get from the car park
and toll gate. Now they are concessioning the car park and toll gate to this Atlantic Bisco for 14 million.
Okay, I understand.
I don't know if you understand. Now the union is seeing a lot of fraud in whatever agreement they have refused to present to the union. Now before now, there is a motion by the union and the management to increase the tariff, which has commenced on the 1st. And the tariff itself has even increased our revenue. As at this moment, 1st of March, we are already increasing our revenue per day to 1.2 million per day.
At the car park.
At the car park and toll gate. At the toll gate.
This is the toll gate upon
So
entry.
if you bring the car park and the toll gate together now, we are having 1.650 million per day. Now if you sum up, we are having a total of 50 million in a month, and you want to concession that toll gate and car park to a private firm for 14 million. And now they are saying that the excess accrued fund will be divided against 70-30. The Atlantic Bisco will take 70, FAN will take 30%.
Why are they sharing? Why is sharing formula that way?
That is the fraud. We want to know. They have not come to the union. That is why we are protesting. They have not come to the union to give us a proper arrangement they have. But we've seen everything. We've seen. I have the full record with me to prove to them that we know what they are doing. This high level of fraud. And the federal government should know that the federal workers working in FAN, we are more sincere than the private partners that they think they will generate more money. Now, let me tell you, when people talk about privatization or concession, just like as you say on Enugu Airport, they think that private firm will give more better production than the government. It's a lie. We have instances of NEPA. Before PACN came into existence, my brother, I will prove to you beyond all reasonable doubt that we had more lights before PACN. I grew up in 80s and 90s. NEPA gave us like more than PLC is doing. For the past 1 month, we've not had light where I'm living. These are private partners who promise to give us light consistently. We're not getting the light. These people have interest to enrich their private pocket against. Do you know how much government has spent in power alone?
Hey, Mr. Emmanuel.
The same thing in aviation.
Mr. Emmanuel, the aviation professionals, how are you guys responding to this concession idea?
Well, it is laughable because it is, like my colleague said, it is totally fraudulent. Because we the professionals in the system, know how much we generate in the system. And we know how much every revenue generated goes into TSA. Now, the thing is being automated now. And the automation, like my colleague said, automation is totally fraudulent. The airport is now viable as against how they blackmailed us. They came to their cabals, to their cliques, and said that the airport is not viable, that there is no light there, that the ACs are not working, that the car parks are, that the security system, that nothing is working.
Well, prior to this time, haven't there been funds released to maintain the airport and keep it up to standard?
Ifiemi, let me respond quickly. As I'm talking to you, our present MD, Mrs. Kuku, and our present RGM has put everything. Just come to the airport. Look at Akuli. Every system, all facilities. Last time you testify, you attested to every facility has been improved. The infrastructure, the River State government, you look at our link roads in the airport, has been tied,
by the River State
painted by the River State government. All the infrastructures are being modernized. The process for checking in, everything is going smoothly, seamlessly. So, the privatization is all about the money, not the infrastructure. They want to get the money and put it in their private pocket. And our common patrimony will not suffer. Nigerians will suffer because every money generated by FAN goes to TSA account. Now, but this private partnership want to, take this money to the private purse. And that is what the union is saying. No, there should be a proper, how will I put it? A proper, round table discussion Let's know what you are coming for. What they are telling us, there is no infrastructure in that airport. That if you come to our airside facilities, our ILS, all our instruments are top notch, working beyond expectations. Because we have a good person, a good woman, a mother indeed that has kept the aviation industry going. The minister has also done well by providing the funds to run these airports. So we can't deny them that fact that they've not played their role.
That argument of concession is obsolete, because as at now the whole revenues, like as at last month, is around about 2.2 billion naira in the old tariff.
Just for Port Harcourt
alone. And they are saying that it is performing below standard.
Below standard, that is not viable.
So how much are they suggesting was expected to have been generated from the airport?
If you want to kill a goat, you call it, or dog, you call it a bad name. They have just project those cabals, those insiders. Even the management, the top management of FAN, we are suspecting them. We are accusing them, because these things cannot happen. These things cannot happen without their a rat that is inside the house will go and tell that one outside that there is a way to get the fish from the barn, from the cage. So we are accusing them, and they should come and prove us right or wrong that they are not involved in these malpractices.
Okay. As it is, the Enugu airport already, that one is gone. They've handed it over to a private firm. Some people think that the workers are protesting against this because, it's going to the sharp practices and other ways that some workers get monies would be cut off, and they are worried that they might lose that influence. Do you think that is that the main reason, or are there other concerns that workers have that have made you say, okay, this concession thing cannot work?
Ifiemi, you and I know that FAN workers presently we are well paid.
Yes.
We are well paid. Mommy Kuku is doing us well. That assertion is wrong. You know why? Before staff go into protest, what is our concern? Protection of our job. That is one. Two, we're already having
sorry, by protection of job, what do you mean? Are you saying if they concede the airport, you lose your job?
Yes. Because we are not carried in the scheme of things. What is the place of a staff of FAN? Because if the concessionaire comes in, you and I know, they will bring their own people in. They will employ their own staff.
And underpay them.
Now, and they will now want to underpay them so that they will get more profit. Fine. That one is... But what we are saying, what is the protection of FAN workers that are working there? That is our concern. Then number two, we already have most of our colleagues who are already exiting the organization. Their pension, their gratuity, who takes responsibility
from your colleagues in Enugu?
Yes.
What is the situation like?
Now,
because theirs has happened already. How did they manage it? And these problems you're highlighting,
I think our national and the minister met few days ago. And they reached an agreement, which we are not told. No, they've not told us, but I think my president single-handedly told me that the agreement they had with the minister protected the rights of workers. One, that no worker will lose their job. Every entitlement due the workers of FAN in Enugu will be paid to them as at when due. And these things were penned on paper, signed between the union, the minister, and
do you trust that?
Now, that is the point.
Because you signed one, you are complaining of one that was signed, and then behind you, they are going to concede the park after there'd been an initial agreement on how it's going to run. So, do you trust this, what you just said now?
We are the branches. We are the branch level. The national takes the final decision with the minister. I wouldn't want to say anything as regarding that, but the national will be in a better position to answer, because we are also afraid, will that signature they've put on that paper, will that agreement stand? Because I am looking at it that it might just stand between 1 to 3 years and it might face off and the people will suffer. So I don't know the models to which they went and signed those documents with the minister.
And another fellow that doesn't know Joseph may come in, and that will be a problem.
So these are we have fears already, yes. But it is our nationals that decided or made that agreement with the minister.
So the workers in Enugu, are they comfortable with it?
There are still being protests. They are not comfortable. But for now, I think there are other ways we are going about it.
All right, there's a quick commercial we'll need to go on. When we come back, I'm pretty sure the listener has several questions they want to ask. However, on the other side, there is plans to move this plan to Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos. According to the Minister for Aviation, he says Enugu is like the litmus test. That's where we would look at how this can work. Afterwards, we would then also ask questions around, well, how are the MOUs that are being signed, because there are talks that some agreements have been reached with Aero Alliance and the various unions, and there is also the guarantee that government has promised that workers affected by the Enugu concession will retain their status as federal employees. We don't know if that would also affect their pay, or their pay will continue as it is as federal employees. We'll find out all of those when we return after this quick break. Good morning. right, good morning, Nigerian info. The conversation continues. I have the River State Chairman of NOATE with us in the studio. I also have the Chairman Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals with us in the studio, and we've been looking at the concession plan by the federal government as it concerns the airports. Well, I talked about how the Enugu airport already is done, and there have been several reactions towards that. I'll come back to Mr. Felix now quickly. During the break, I was asking you questions around why you are skeptical about the company that is currently seeking to control the revenue for the car parks and the toll gates. Why is that a concern to workers, and what exactly is the problem with what you think about the situation?
Okay, Atlantic Bisco, we are not assigned to take revenue for fun. What they were called to do was to install the automated machine at the access gate and the car park.
Okay.
And up to now, we have asked them to provide the agreement for them to man the revenue collection. They've not provided up to now. They've not. So what we know as a union was that they were coming to install machines at our toll gate and car park. That was what we.
And that was the meeting you held with them, and that was the agreement.
Yes, in Abuja in November. But
Okay.
to our greatest surprise, behind closed doors, we never knew they were not coming to take revenue for fun. That was what prompted us to call for the town hall meeting of all our staff, and we did a resolution which I forwarded to you. And we did also what's it called, an ultimatum to our management to call the Atlantic Bisco to order. And by God's grace, by 1st of March, the new tariff began. Fan was in possession.
Do you workers have an idea who owns the company or runs the company?
For now, we don't. But there has been rumor that somebody.
But wasn't that conversation held?
No.
So the company just came. There was no questions.
I
You
am
did not
not-
ask questions about
No,
who.
they just
No,
came and
they
started
just
installing
came.
the equipment.
They just came. So the two men that had a meeting with us just mentioned, one said he is the MD, the other one said he's the chief executive.
Mr. BC Akiola said he's the MD.
Yes.
And Mr. Benga, he said he's the executive director.
So, for as labor, did you do your homework to try and figure out who owns this company? Where are they coming
we
from?
actually have done that,
And?
but everything has been on the blank. There has been, most times these people hide themselves. They don't want to be quoted or seen. We've called for meeting. Nobody is coming out. They should come out. They say we are doing propaganda. But we are not doing propaganda. When you are hiding, just come out to the public. You want to improve the airport, Abi? Fine. Tell the public, tell the whole world that this is your name. You own the company. They are all hiding. Even at a point, give us the document for engagement between you and FAN to take our revenue. Revenue. They said they don't have it. If they are sincere, wouldn't they have provided all this document to us?
I'd like to I just wanted to Google the name of the company. So what's the name of the company again?
Atlantic Bisco.
Atlantic Bisco.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see if maybe they have a website or something, and then we can see what we.
I tried googling it, but it wasn't opening.
Atlantic Bisco Nigeria Limited.
Yes.
So it was founded in the year 2000. Provides general contracting, construction management, supply of vehicles. Okay, well, all right.
We have asked them their experience. We have told them to give us their track records in managing toll gates and car
Revenue
parks.
generating points.
Yeah, revenue generating
There was
points.
none.
Because I was going to ask, because what I'm
It's a
seeing here
construction
that they
company.
do,
It's
I don't know if it
installation.
covers that.
No, it doesn't. So that is why we are saying there is something behind that
It is who
the
is
union
who.
is pushing. That
Is
we
who
must
is
know.
who.
All right, let's take a few calls first. You've highlighted your fears and worries. And then one more thing. Okay, one more thing. For those workers at the Enugu airport, which has now been considered by the government, according to the minister, what's happening at Enugu airport is the beginning. That's how they would know what they need to adjust going forward. Are they still getting the same pay? Because statement says they are going to retain their status as federal government workers. But we don't know about their pay. Well, you are labor workers. So after speaking with your colleagues, I think I'll come to Mr. Emmanuel on this one. After speaking to your colleagues, has there been any any news about whether their pay is the same or what they are getting is the same?
Well, they are still fan staff. They are still they are still fan staff. They are not. They've not been considered to the concessionaire. Initially we told them, okay,
they have not been considered yet.
Yes, the staff.
But because the statement from the minister says, well, they've had an agreement with the company that would run, unless you're saying that the agreement has been held, but the staff have not
been considered to the company. The staff are still fan staff, and they are still paid by fan. But our fear is that these people are not sincere. These people are not sincere. Look at the East-West Road. Look at NEPA. Look at Nigerian Railway. Look at Nigerian Airways. Nothing happens. They will say, okay, we want to privatize, we want to concession. Okay, look at Nigerian Railway, where some of our parents were managers and the staff. They promised them heaven and earth that it will turn to China. Before you know it, the system collapsed. Before we go to Medugri, from Enugu to Medugri, and we feel comfortable. Now, can you travel by road to Medugri? No, you cannot. Now, that is the system that is coming up. That's what is coming up. That is coming to show in the near future. If these things are not contained, if these things are not guided, it will be, you want to go to Kaduna now, or you will be expected to go by road. And the road now, me and you know that going by road is death sentence. You are trying to kill yourself, because people that go from Port Harcourt to Abuja or Lagos and all that, you know what happens along the road. You know the stories. So we are still being paid. They are still being paid. But these people are not sincere. That is the fact. They are not sincere.
All right, let's take a few calls first. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Those are the numbers you can call to join the conversation. Again, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. On WhatsApp, you can send us a message, 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. This message says, Ifiemi Andrew, good morning. When you talk about concession plan, it should be positive. If you intend to bring in more gains to the corporate body, not when you intend to cause serious setback to both the corporate body and its employees. The concession, as it appears now, is a decoy to loop the airport into private pockets with no intention to improve overall economy. And as aviation workers, we stand by our union leadership. We resist any plan to truncate our livelihood. This is coming from Airport Duty Officer Operations, God's Power, Igwe. Magnus from our 3. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Mr. Andrew.
All right, Magnus, go on.
Thank you. Special greetings to your guests in the studio. Very quickly, I want to contribute by saying that if we must do well in this country, various sectors we have must be up to speed to make sure they deliver in one way or the other. If you look at what is happening in the sector where your guest coming from this morning, you will see that there are a lot of illegalities, corruption in the system that is not allowing the process to thrive as supposed to. If you look at the Port Harcourt airport, majority of their staff there, apart from the recent directive and the recent development, the staff there were not being taken care of. A lot of things in that airport are not working fine, except when government intervene and put one or two things in that department. But via compared to what your guest is saying in the studio, I quite disagree with them that the Port Harcourt refinery the Port Harcourt airport and other airports we have in this country should not be privatized. I think it is high time that government should remove their hand from all these things and give it to private firms to manage it. Your guest talked about NEPA.
But Magnus, the fear many people have. Magnus.
It needs to be given to a private firm.
Hello, Magnus. Hello, Magnus.
Because PhD is not, you have to go and find out why there's no light. It's not that PhD does not have light to give to you. They have light.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Magnus from our 3. I wanted to ask him, the question would then be, how can we certify the owners of the companies that come to take? Because in the past, worry on Nigerians is the government says, oh, we want to privatize. Then when you go check behind properly, you see that the company coming to take it belongs to either one person in the government or a crony to the person in government, where the government that is telling you they're privatizing are now going from there and getting their own courts. And then you have that scheme going on for quite a while, and it's happened. These allegations have been on for several sectors, and these people know how to manipulate and move around the law. So it's difficult to pretty say, "Oh, this is your own," because they know how they do it.
You understand?
And we are not against concession. No. Let me tell you the truth. We are not against concession. We are against a bad deal. If you concession it, if you think that it can run very well and everybody gets it what he deserves and all that, and the system will go forward. Now concession it. We unions are not anti-investment. If someone comes to modernize your system, let him go on. Look at MM2. Somebody came, Babalake came and said that he can do an airport, he can run an airport, he has experience. Fine, he came to Fan gave him a place. He built an airport and he's been running it. People may decide, okay, let us, instead of going to GAT, MM1, let the airline go to MM2 and operate. And if you find it is a market, then you go ahead and build an airport or build an airstrip where flights can land. I think
let me also, if he's hearing us, when you are coming to concession or take over a place, why will you single out the revenue generating point to be concessioned? Why not look at
maybe the others are liability now?
Fine. They are running away. Okay, let me give you. There is a Kenyan company that came for this concession before.
Which company?
One Kenyan company. I forgot the name of that company. Do you know when we took them to our runways and our facilities, they said they were going to run our financial point and pay fine to maintain those facilities. Those facilities were too expensive for them to maintain. Meaning that they are after the revenue generating points. They are not after the liabilities and the infrastructures.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand.
Let's go to Africa. Muriel, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Muriel.
Thank you, Femi.
Go on.
This is a woman. I want to liken this disco company to a house cleaning agent. That a woman, let's say a woman hired somebody, a maid, to come and clean her house. And when the maid came in, she knows how beautiful the furniture is. You don't know the effort this woman has put into making this home beautiful. And I automatically, you want to take over. That's so selfish. Well, Ifiemi, just because your name is Abiodun or Deyemi does not mean that you can subdue and conquer anywhere, any territory. This is Nigeria. There are people inside every state, You cannot just come and push people out. But Ifiemi, I want to say this consensus, all those things, it is so funny. A private company will just come. Look, TSA, these people, the union, they say they are remitting to TSA. So what is so wrong about that? If they are even putting into their own post, it's a different thing. We would have said, okay, maybe there is so much corruption, but they are remitting directly to the TSA. So what's all this? And this is exactly what they are doing with the NNPC. When you just see the assets, you're just happy. You don't know that their liabilities bound. Can you handle the liabilities? You want to take over. Can you pay the union? Is it you now? Is it you, the private company that will not come and be paying union? People that are working for government? Have they thought about all those things? It is unfortunate what is happening in this country. Thank you, Ifiemi.
Good news in Port Harcourt. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother, man.
Go on, good news.
Ifiemi, you see, carry goats and tie rope. Carry rope and tie goats. They are the same thing. Jonah swallow fish. Fish swallow Jonah. There is swallow in the middle. But fear me, what I am seeing there is who go chop the money. These persons on the studio, with due respect, they said they are team before the concession group come that they are remitting directly to TSC. I want to say that based on the Nigeria we know that if they are getting 100 naira, not that 100 naira does not go to TSA. Taking the jump, for example, before the TSA came in, when jump, we are claiming that they would have 10 billion, 2 billion, until somebody came under Buhari and started bringing 70 billion. And everybody, they now discovered how snake ate money. People start shouting. So this is what has been going on under the general public. So if the government owns the fan is bringing companies to take care of it, to be sure of how much is coming, and government is paying you, and government is not maintaining it, why crying? What you should be talking about, one, how to ensure that your job is secured. But for the revenue aspect, it's not a business. The owners of the property wants to do it, you want to do it. And besides, let me tell you, the government is somebody in the government is looking for how to make sure that he will collect this revenue. This was grand. They know what they are benefiting already from the revenue in the park. I've been in that airport. I have people working there. I know what is happening there too. But not everybody will talk from my mouth. So they should calm down. If they can fight it out better, they can fight it, let them face the salary. My name is Good News from Port Harcourt.
JJ Rumigbo, good morning.
Andrew, good morning. Andrew, you've been long here, and I can tell you this is like the refinery story, where government said we want to privatize, and the workers and the union said, no, you cannot privatize. Andrew, where we did today. Now, what I'm saying is that, allow me to use this word, like two people that wants to go steal. One has been stealing, another one has come to steal his own. The one that has been stealing before is now saying, no, you must not steal, because we are the ones that have been stealing here. That's the story I'm hearing right now. That is what killed our 4 refineries, Warri, Port Harcourt, and Kaduna. The same thing is playing out here right now. I'm not supporting anybody. I've heard all these stories before. It has not helped us. It's all the people that are struggling now, both the company and these people, that they are the ones that made away with money and all those. So anything I want to do, more I do. But thinking that you come here and whip up emotion, that people will not be on your side. Zero, we don't see before. We don't see 99, 100, not be a problem. Thank you.
All right, JJ, later Barry from Bori. Good morning.
Good morning, Ifiemi Andrew.
Okay.
And good morning to the guests. I think this matter is a matter of concern, and it affects us generally, even when they are planning their actions. But my personal concern in this is that mostly when it comes to the PhD, I don't know how they handle the responsibility of giving power to the customers, and that they have to collect their own fare even when they don't provide that service, is what is pissing me up here. Whatever they are saying, I know it's neither here nor there, but the manner of which all that half they created to deal with Nigerians in this manner, that they will not provide that power, and they will collect.
But later, Barry, we're not discussing PhD or power here. I don't know if you have been following the conversation.
Why give them that impetus?
Thank you, Leighton Barry. But power is not what we're discussing. I understand that maybe you're looking at how the power sector was privatized and look at what we're facing. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. But we're discussing the concession of the airports and what's happening, how workers are responding to that. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. We'll take one more call before we go. This one says, Andrew, good morning. Please, my advice to your guests this morning, they shouldn't allow the First Atlantic to have their way. They should be resisted. That company is owned by a big politician. Allegedly, the company is owned by... he's saying the president owns the country, allegedly. That's Michael from Ohwoefe. He says, but you can't prove it now, so we don't know. You can't prove it, so we don't know. Good morning. I struggle to understand why he said media reports should not have referred to Fulbright commissioners. This is not for us now, so I can't address that one. Henry from Ugboba, good morning.
Yeah, Ifiemi Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
Yes, I know that our system is riddled with corruption and all kind of ill practices. Is also a possibility that those who have been engaged, is engaged by one big wig in FAN or Nigerian Airport Authority, under the guise of concession, and then they will hand it over to their cronies to collect this money and then hand it back to them to the back door. But the thing remains like this. I'm a civil servant. I was hired by government to come and
do a particular job or play a particular role. And then when I get there, I should be mindful of the role and work I was hired to do. It does no longer mean that I would dictate everything to my employer. I can't be a dictator to my employer. I agree that we can unionize, we can be part of union and then work and project our interest, and ensure that our interest is not trampled upon. But to put up policies and programs that will enhance, the productivity of the organization is dependent on management. So if management decides to do some concession, it is the right of management to so do. And workers workers shouldn't stop them, because policy arrangements and programs and initiatives that will grow the organization is not that of the workers. I agree that they are stakeholders, but then they must not stifle the idea of management to partner with people and ensure that the organization moves on better. That's my
All right, Henry,
my position.
Thank you. As we attempt to wrap up, Mr. Samuel, first, you heard the callers. What's your response?
Yes, like I said, our problem is not concession, but we oppose concession that will reduce fan revenue, displace workers, and the concession that lacks transparency. If you want to do something, bring it to the floor, bring it to the table. We are the mouthpiece of the staff. They come and tell us, call us on a round table, let us discuss it. Then we'll go back to our staff, look at what is going on. If you can see that the revenue will now increase for toll gates and car park alone, will now increase to approximately 50 million. And someone will now tell you that it is 14 million that is going to give you. Now, it is clear that all the revenue points are now automated. Nobody touches cash. If you come there with your green card, the card that is cashless now, you put it on the machine, automatic teller machine, ATM, it will just debit you instantly. To debit you if your car is a Jeep, it will debit you, I think, 1,000 naira or thereabout. You go. This one, nobody is touching your money. You cannot go. The money goes straight to TSA. Nobody goes to pick the money. If you say, they say that some people is like tying a goat and this and that. Yes, okay, let's believe it. But now it is automated. Who now ties the goat and who now unleashes the goat?
All right. Quickly, Mr. Felix was already out of time. Your response to the caller.
The last caller made a point, but I want to disagree with him. Now, he is saying government has a right to concession whatever property they own. But if the policies for the concession is anti-staff, should the union allow it? He didn't hear us. We are generating 28 million. And someone is coming to give FAN, federal government, 14 million below what FAN is already generating. Does it make it? Is there any sensitivity there? Is there any sincerity there? So the union is saying no. Fine, concession FAN, but let it be that what your concession gets above what they said. Another person said that FAN staff may be fingering or pilfering the money. Now, if you are bringing a private hand, you should be able to generate more what the staff are generating. That is one. Two, what is the agreement between FAN and the Bisco Atlantic? Come and install, what's it called? Automation machine for us at the cap and before you know, you are collecting revenue without any proper agreement.
Mr. Felix, we have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time.
You know,
we have to go.
Yes,
we don't have time.
Our time
we have to go.
There, yes.